welcome to the After Hours with TC Restani, the podcast. Of course, I am TC Restani, and we are emanating from my podcast penthouse, and I have my full panel of people. It's our Thanksgiving special, so it's like a big Thanksgiving dinner down here, and I'm going to start off with the man on the right. Tonight, he's wearing a Batman t-shirt, the one, the only, the infamous Vinny Capelli.
When people ask, who are you, I say, I'm Vinny. That's what it is. It just works like that.
Well, that is your name.
I'm Vinny.
Unbelievable. Someone who has many aliases down here. The one, the infamous also, Boomerang Chastain.
Hello, DC.
How you doing down there? How you doing?
Right.
I haven't seen you in a while there, Boomerang. What have you been up to?
Well, I've been to the donut shop.
And you brought samples to our big
Yep.
Thanksgiving edition down here. Instead of
Yep.
turkey,
Oh,
You
now
put-
I know why there's a hole in the middle of it.
I don't think it's for that reason there, Vin. All right, Boomerang, wonderful to have you back on the program.
Yep.
The living legend himself, the man who has an illegitimate son floating around out there, which we're going to talk about later on in the program, my longtime close personal friend, Bull Montana, the Colonel.
Good evening, fans. Good evening, TC. Cousin Leo. I see Jeff over here, Mr. Capelli, and Mr. Chastain. Where is your cowboy hat tonight?
You like the guy, the lady on Romper Room. I can see Vinny through my mirror and all that other junk. And, of course, I haven't even introduced him yet, but the Colonel jumped the gun. My cousin is actually on the program tonight.
Glad to be here.
Cousin Leo. How you doing, Cousin Leo?
Doing good.
I know you and Vinny have a colorful past together down in Long Island. And
Hey,
all.
well, we don't talk about that.
Yeah,
we
no,
don't talk
it's-
about
no,
that.
no,
We
no,
had a
no.
good time.
Well, too good of a time. I didn't see him for many Thanksgivings. And, of course, the greatest celebrity stalker of all time, my longtime close personal friend, Mr. South Boston Jeff.
Hey, what's going on, TC? Hey, you hit it right on the money with that romper room statement. I remember romper room. But, yeah, this is quite a spread here. Of course, I brought in my famous American chop suey, but nobody seems to be touching it yet.
Well, that's good. We're having the dessert first. We have Reno's different donuts, and then we'll have your American chop suey, which, by the way, is I think everybody from Sicily is coming over to make it Sicilian chop suey. That's how good it is over there.
Speaking of romper, remember that time in that club, Leo? The romper, you remember that? That was a good time.
Club. They called it the rubber room.
Yeah. Well, long story. I listen, we called you to be there that weekend.
I know. I was in.
You were too busy.
I was in Vegas. I'm sorry.
too
I was
busy.
in Vegas. I heard all about it. This was long before Instagram and Twitter and all that other nonsense. And I heard the stories. And we can't repeat those even here on the podcast.
No, there's reasons why.
There are
The only
reasons.
thing I can tell you is that the romper room had a champagne room.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, unbelievable.
what.
And then a bathroom.
Colonel. All right. The world is still spinning. We are now a week removed from where Donald J. Trump, the man who is in the WWE Hall of Fame, along with the Macho Man Randy Savage, is the president-elect of the United States. Woo! Now, we all know down here, I'm not political. I don't vote. I don't care who's running for office because it's a rigged game. But from an entertainment standpoint, the next 4 years are going to be some of the most interesting times in not just U.S. history, world history down there, because Donald Trump is the president-elect. Now, when you think of Donald Trump, my first introduction to Donald Trump was, of course, when he promoted WrestleMania 4 and 5 almost 30 years ago. And that was my introduction to Donald Trump. Did I think the billionaire guy who owned the casino would become the 45th president of the United States of America? If you would have asked me that 30 years ago, I would have to say absolutely not. Now, the world is crazy. The United States is crazy. And the reaction after he got elected is kind of sad and pathetic when you think about it. I mean, all right, the man ran. He may have been off the cuff a little, but he spoke to the people. The people elected him. And the sore losers are now having, counseling sessions and, all this.
What do I tell my children?
I mean, and some.
What do you mean what do you tell your children? You tell children to go to school, get good grades, and be smart.
Go to work, shut up, and make money.
And in some cases, they won't even allow schools to talk about this.
It's ridiculous.
The man is going to be in the history book, and guess what? 100 years or so down the line, he could actually be on currency. Unbelievable down there. Now, Colonel, I know that you were a longtime supporter of Donald Trump, and what's your take on the Donald, being your next president of the United States, Colonel?
No, I hope I hope President Trump does very good and takes care of the
Khan, the evil guy from Star Trek.
excuse me. I mean that he takes control of what this going on between them and former Hillary. What's going on?
The former Hillary.
Now, TC, you've known him a long time.
Far too long.
I got a funny story. I got a story to tell you.
I couldn't
Now,
even translate that.
The famousness of this man knows no bounds. This man knows the 45th president. No joke. Me and Bo one day we're down in downtown New York. We're at Times Square, and we're sitting there. We're doing our thing. A little peddling on the street corner. Just mixing and mingling. Bo gets us into a restaurant.
You were selling those bootleg movies.
No.
weren't you?
Anyways.
I want those back, by the way.
So, hey, after. We'll talk about that after. So, we go to sit down at this restaurant. Well, at least try to, okay?
Okay, yeah, of course, you're such a big star down there.
No,
With the Colonel.
No. Well, here's the thing. I thought I was a big star down there. Doesn't work out that way. And I'm fighting with the guy at the door. I'm like, listen, you give me a friggin' table, I'm gonna break your face. Well, Bull
Always works.
goes, hey, hold on, I see somebody I know. All of a sudden, points to a guy in a corner, waves him over. I kid you not. Walks over, Donald Trump. Donald Trump goes, hey, Bull, what do you need, Bull? Bull, I got what you need. You need a table? Goes up to the guy. Bull gets us a table, courtesy of Donald Trump.
And I guarantee you, it was a free meal.
I didn't pay for it.
Well, and I know he never paid
But
for it down there.
this man, I'm just telling you, he knows everybody knows. I told you that one time we're in Tennessee, and we're at a strip club, and a stripper goes, hey, Ringo. So what's that tell you?
That was actually, Bill, you want to tell who that was? That you met down in Tennessee that remembered
that
you?
is the beautiful Lisa.
No, it was not. It was Terry Weigel.
Terry Waggles.
Right, yeah, Terry Waggles. Yeah, that's her name down there. All right, go back to sleep over there.
No, I'm not sleeping.
Now, Boomerang Chastain over there. I know that you are an immigrant to this country. We don't know where you came from. I'm assuming down from the outback,
Mongolia.
or Mongolia, or whatnot. You're a legal immigrant. You're not illegal. You're not going to get thrown out. But what do you think about Donald Trump's being president?
I'm happy.
You're happy. Why are you happy?
Well, I didn't really vote for Trump. I vote for Clinton.
You voted for Clinton.
What?
What?
Dun, dun, dun.
Now,
No.
Hey, it's a free country.
Well, my
Oh, wait. No, I just wanted to do what the Clinton people were doing to you if you said you voted for Trump. That's
okay.
what happened with the Clinton.
So you were with
supporters.
her.
yeah.
Okay. Now, do you think Donald Trump's going to actually build this wall?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think? How long do you think it's going to take to build a wall 3,000 miles long?
I don't know. I think he won't.
You don't think he will, huh?
No.
Now, what about you, Vinny? I know you're a huge Donald Trump supporter, and obviously we just heard the story. You got a free meal and a booth because of Donald Trump. Now, tell us, what do you think about the wall?
Look, I personally, I think, well, people have to understand that Mexico actually built a wall first. Mexico actually built a wall.
They did.
That they built their own wall to stop their own people from jumping it.
Okay.
So I think it was more of a metaphor than it is
Ooh, big word. Metaphor.
A metaphor more than it was going to be an actual physical thing. When I say that about building a wall,
Yeah.
or when he said, I should say, is it's more of, I think he's talking about keeping illegal immigrants who are illegally coming to this country from
Right.
coming in. And it doesn't mean from Mexico. It means from
Canada?
Syria, anywhere in the world.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. Colonel down there, now do you think you could jump this wall if they did build it?
No, I cannot jump it.
Even with your superpowers? I know you were hanging around with our former guest Tyro Man from a couple weeks ago. He was showing you superpowers, but you don't think you could jump over the wall?
I can't do it at all.
You can't do it at all. Now, someone who's actually jumped a few walls in his day, that would be you, Cousin Leo, down there.
Several.
Do you think that you could jump Trump's wall?
No, because I'd be proud to stare at it if it's built.
Really?
I would be very proud.
Because
I
you wouldn't
think
want to
it's-
jump over to the other side.
No, I'd even actually grab the bricks and help build it.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Well, I know
man.
you are a mason,
Oh, that's right.
so your skills are complete. Now, one thing I really
We
want to say.
Italians love our cement.
Did you say
Brick and
your
mortar.
skills are complete?
Skills are complete. Now, I will have to say that the best thing about Donald Trump being president is we now have an unbelievable MILF as the first lady,
Oh, she's delicious.
Donald Trump's wife. What is her name?
Ivana.
No.
Ivanka.
No, Melania or something.
No, it's Ivanka.
No, that's his
Ivania.
daughter.
No, well, it's Ivana. I don't know.
Whatever her name is out there.
I'll just look at
We
her.
don't care. Unbelievable. I think, all right, we've had what? 45 first ladies since George Washington with old Martha down there. I'd say up until Trump's first lady, the hottest first lady would have to be Jackie Kennedy.
Well,
Oh, I
or,
disagree.
Or
No
actually,
way.
maybe, the other first lady that JFK had.
Marilyn Monroe.
Monroe.
But I don't like
Yeah, you got a
blondes.
point there, but she's not. Well, yeah, she wasn't a first lady, but yeah, you'd have to say that Trump has got the hottest first lady ever in history.
Oh, absolutely. I'd have to say of the new century, definitely.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, all the other first ladies look like kindergarten teachers, or,
Although,
or
push-
old ugly.
Although Michelle Obama was not a bad-looking woman.
She's a guy.
Stop. She's not a bad-looking
That's a
woman.
man, baby.
But other than that, I would say, yeah, Barbara Bush, no.
No.
Nancy Reagan, she was beautiful when she was
You know-
young.
You know what? You have to say to Nancy Reagan, just say no.
Yeah, just say no.
And before that was Jimmy Carter's old,
I have no
old
idea.
lady. I don't remember her.
They were all old and beat up.
Rosalind.
Oh,
What's
look
that
at
term
that.
that I've
Look
heard
at-
you use
look
before?
at the big
Wet
brain
trash
in-
bag?
A wet trash bag.
Wet trash bag left on the
Unbelievable.
side of the road.
So I just can't wait for the first ladies' little appearances on TV. That's going to be unbelievable.
I just can't wait to see what she's wearing.
Woo.
6 to midnight, baby.
Six to midnight. No, all right, unbelievable down there. Now I'm not going to ask everybody down there who they voted for, but were you completely shocked when you turned on your television on Wednesday morning, the 9th of November 2016, when they announced Donald Trump is now the president of the United States? Vinny.
No, because you know why? Because I actually had to wake up for work and actually go to work, unlike some of these other people who had to have the day off because they couldn't cope.
Too much trauma.
That's what really upset me. And you know what? I was watching the television the night before, and I'm saying to myself, the man does have a chance because people like myself that are true-blooded Americans, we're tired of a corrupt system.
I agree.
The system is corrupted.
I agree.
And the thing with Donald Trump was people saw he's just like I can visualize Donald Trump because I'm just like him in a lot of ways. I don't have his money
Or his hair.
but he says it like how he feels. He's not afraid to say what's on his mind and be not politically correct. You know what? That's the kind of guy we need.
This generation that was the ones that were voting the Democrat Party and for Hillary and all that, they don't seem to understand what this country was built off of because I blame their parents and I blame the last 2 generations. If you'll excuse me for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
But the thing is that these people are going to learn what it is. This country was built off blood and guts, and we were good at it. No other country has done this, or if they are doing it, they've been doing it for 1,000 years, or these long-running civil wars, or revolutionary wars, or religious wars, and they just don't get it.
No.
They don't get it what it means to just get to work, get it done, stop asking for free handouts, all this other stuff, and just do it yourself. And now all these children, even these children in their 40s and 50s, because these people are adult children, and you know this.
Yeah.
And these people opened up their sewer holes to help the wrong people. What happens is that in a corrupt system, in my view and opinion, is that this corrupt system was feeding off that because they were giving money to the people that were saying, yeah, we need to help these groups. But the groups were never getting those funds.
Obviously,
it was
Leo.
going in the pockets of these politicians.
Obviously, you did a lot of reading when you were on your what is it?
Sabbatical? No.
Sabbatical.
State
I-
paid vacations.
It was called the 5 to 10 year stretch.
Okay.
state paid. But
I used the library.
it's fun. You say that, and it's and I think it ties into some of what you believe in some of these conspiracy theories.
They're not conspiracy theories, they're the truth.
Well, the truth, because this country especially, was built off corrupted
Yeah.
individuals lately.
Yeah.
The last 75 years, 100 years, corrupted, powerful individuals who do not want to give up their power.
Collectively known as the
Bohemian-
new world order.
The
Right,
New World
and what
Order.
did I say to you in the limo that last week? What age are we living in? The age of
The pussy
Aquarius?
generation.
Of corruption.
Yeah.
Since the Industrial Revolution, man, that's when it started to go because everybody started getting greedy, which you can't blame them. You left the door open for people to make their own money. And then once you stop it...
You're counterfeiting again?
Huh?
No, okay.
Hey, whoa, whoa,
None of you. Hey, well, you know what?
On that note,
On that note, Colonel, when you woke up on Wednesday morning,
Give me some money.
the 9th of November, and Donald Trump was announced President of the United States, what was your reaction, even though he is a longtime close personal friend?
I could not believe it. I could not believe
You
that.
could not believe it.
That-
That's it, huh?
That's right.
You didn't, want to throw yourself in front of a bus or anything like that?
No.
No, huh? Wow. Jeff, what about you? I know you had to get up for work that morning, and what was your take on Donald Trump becoming president
Oh,
of
I
the
throw
United
on
States?
the TV. I see who was president. I was like, hey, great. That's absolutely great. I mean, of course, I'm like you. I already knew he was going to be president for the last 8 months and everything because I'm a avid listener of Alex Jones and all. Yeah.
TV.
But yeah, I was like, oh, great. And I think he'll be a pretty good president because number one, he's a showman, and number two, he's one of the richest men in the world. And if he has any decisions to be made, he can just hire somebody. He can just if you got a threat from ISIS or if you got a threat about like a germicide or something like that.
Forced to buy products.
Something scientific. He can just go out and hire the smartest eggs he can. I mean, if he doesn't know what to do about it. So I'm glad to have, like you said, this will be the most interesting 4 years, and I'm pretty glad to be alive to witness this. This is people are going to look back on this year. And Clint Eastwood is, the pussy generation is over, I think.
I want to add one thing.
generation.
I want to add one thing to this. Okay?
Sure, go ahead.
They talk about Donald Trump being this racist bigot, hates lesbians, hates gays, all this stuff. Yet, one of the people he's going to put into his office is the CEO of PayPal. He's one of the people being discussed for a position in his office.
Uh-huh.
Most openly gay man walking the planet. Okay,
Unbelievable.
Talk about him hating women. Yet, a woman, first woman ever to successfully run a presidential campaign, ran his campaign. Yeah, you know what? Just people need to shut up. Give the guy an opportunity. If you don't like it, you don't move the frig out. All these celebrities said they're moving out. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye.
Hit the road,
More
yeah.
jobs for us. More jobs for America.
Unbelievable. Now, when I woke up that morning, I was shocked in a way because usually things don't go the right way. And I'm not saying because I don't vote, I really don't care, but I'm just saying they already had magazines that said Madame President on it. Everything was already in the bag.
Sounds sexy.
And out of nowhere, this out of left field, this came out of nowhere. But the country woke up because if you think about it, there has been a Bush or a Clinton involved in the White House since 1980. People are tired of it. They wanted to move on. Change is good. We're in the we're in the 21st century. Why not? Because when I was going to school, all the teachers I said, you know what? Anybody can grow up to be president of the United States. And guess what? Donald Trump proved it. And the fact that he kind of looks like Biff from the alternate 1985, I'm waiting for the White House to have the casino built on top of it. Then I will be a 100% Donald Trump supporter because Back to the Future 2 will become a reality.
Well, Back to the Future 2, almost, we did have this conversation.
Right.
Predicted the Cubs a year off, but it did say Madam President.
It did.
But you know who did predict Donald Trump, and I think we talked about this too, was The Simpsons. Predicted him being president. The Simpsons, they predicted, they had an episode with Donald Trump as president of the United States.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good episode, but they did predict it. It was Lisa went to a gypsy and saw into her future and everything, and she was a congresswoman running for president, and Donald Trump was the president. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Unbelievable down there. Now, Reno, would you ever run for president?
I would.
In 4 years right now, if Donald Trump is doing a miserable job, you think you, Boomerang Chastain, would sign on the dotted line and run for president of the United States?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, now, if you became president of the United States, what would you change?
I'll change everything around.
Like what?
Like I'll go everywhere and talk about what I'm going to do.
What are you going to do? Give everybody free chicken nuggets?
Legalized
No,
prostitution.
I'll get them free
More
money.
winning scratch tickets?
Yeah, free scratch ticket, free money.
Free money?
On the nose.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
voting,
yeah.
I'm voting for you
money
down there. Now,
split.
Colonel, if you ran for president, what would be your progress platform?
Well, first of all, if I was running for president, I would open Suffolk Downs.
You would open the closed horse track.
That's right.
Okay, why would you do that? I mean, I'm curious. Why would you want to open up a closed, rundown horse track? Because it's close to your house?
No, you get people that coming in from the North Shore area that are looking for a place to watch horses.
Well, I got
and
good
live
news for you.
races.
Excuse me, Colonel. I got good news for you right there. Suffolk Downs is going to open for 4 days this next year.
Oh, look at that.
4 days, but hey, Trump is in. Suffolk Downs is going to be open for a couple of days, so things are already on the up.
So, as President of the United States, even though the White House is in Washington, D.C., you're more concerned about a horse track in Boston.
That's right.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. All
You
right.
see,
Yeah, yeah.
I know some guy that I gamble with,
Okay, yeah.
and he goes to horse race every day.
Every day.
Yeah, he don't go on Mondays and Tuesdays to close.
Well,
Suffolk
but
Downs.
that's not every day then, huh?
No,
Okay.
Wednesday he goes, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
Wow.
and he wins.
And he
It's-
wins, huh?
And some kid I know, he got a dog that race.
He has a dog that races.
Yeah,
is-
and
now,
he
is
got
the-
like a lot of dogs that races.
Is the dog a jockey?
Huh?
Is the dog a jockey?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to see this. Your presidential run would be fantastic. That a dog that is a jockey.
I'll open Wonderland.
Wonderland. Okay. All right.
The dog track.
Okay.
Free.
Moving on from the animal kingdom over there, Jeff. If you're president of the United States, what are you going to do?
Well, there's not much. I mean, at the same time, Trump was elected, the pot was legal and everything. So maybe if I was United States, I would. If I was president, I would take one of the islands off the shore of Boston, or one of those old prisons islands, like Deer Island or something like that, and I would gather up all the drug addict junkies and everything, and I'd send them all off there.
It'd be like Crack Island.
Yeah, kind of like there. I'd get rid of them and everything. They'd be given. Yeah, that would be the third strike. The methadone and everything. That would be strike 3, and they would send you off to this island. And all right, there was some security guards there, but it's pretty much like all the drugs that are confiscated or maybe rationed out there. That's what I would do. I would try to figure out a way to rid the world of our opioid crisis, because
well, there
I'm
we
a
go.
guy that suffers from pain and everything, and I don't I can't even get a hold of some decent painkillers these days because my doctors tell me you're in an opioid we're in an opioid crisis right now, and we got to limit the painkillers, and I'm like, oh, freaking junkies. And so that's what I would do. I would I would start an island and everything. Well, you kind of asked me very off key, and I wasn't expecting it. But that's what I would do.
He's going to open up a druggy island. There you go.
Well, it'll be a prison island like Alcatraz, only for junkies.
Kind of like Escape from New York.
Yeah, exactly.
All
Little
right.
snake. Yeah.
All right. Cousin Leo down there. You're president of the United States. What are you doing?
Well, I'd probably loosen a lot of the restrictions on manufacturing, because everybody somewhere somehow knows how to make something, but to do it, they just restrict you from doing it. It's like a form of oppression. It's like oppressing that artist. People are just they're not allowed to make anything anymore, so we have to rely on China or the Pacific Rim.
Reno made donuts today.
That's fine, yeah, but like just everyday stuff that's coming from overseas. And taking the jobs away from our children and our children's children. And now I would lower the restrictions.
Well, look at
and
this.
of course, make more guns.
If Jeff became president, they could all become gods on Druggy Island.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, sure.
Cool.
Everybody's welcome on Druggy Island. It's like the island of misfits junkies down there. All right. Now, if I'm president of the United States, what the hell am I going to do? I think that I would open up a Playboy club like McDonald's.
Can that be in every state?
I'm going to be on every corner. What are you talking about? You know how there's every McDonald's in every corner? I'm gonna do the after hours club. All right, forget Playboy. That's all has been. They keep their clothes on now. I'm going to open up TC's after hours club just like McDonald's, and whatever goes on, goes on. It's like that scene in Conan the Barbarian. Remember that scene there, Vin?
Of course I do.
All right, that's what we're talking about.
I'm
I
gonna
know
be
the
one of your
scene.
top investors.
Unbelievable down there.
Get some money for that right now.
I would like to add that if I was president, the very first thing I would do in my first day of office
What's that?
is I would begin construction on a space station.
Oh, the Death Star?
I would call it the Star of Vin.
The Star of Vin.
The Star of Vin, yes. And it would be designed that if people got out of line, it would be used as a deterrence method. And I would hire somebody to wear all black to walk around, probably breathe a little heavy. Stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Kind of like Darth Vader. You'd hire Darth Vader.
I would invest in space defense, is what
So
I would
you
do.
you
sure.
become Emperor Capelli?
It would be more like Senator. No, actually, no, it couldn't be Senator. So, yeah, it'd be Emperor Capelli. Yeah.
Emperor? Well, EC. TC's best friend
So we
is
got a
EC.
colonel. Ooh, I'd like to be an admiral on your space station.
Colonel, you could work.
You could be an admiral.
I think Colonel would work good down in the garbage disposal.
Think about it. Wait, think about it. We could take all the druggies.
Yep.
We'd have them on Druggy Island.
Druggy Island.
Okay. I could use, cousin Leo's manufacturing to build the thing.
Build the damn
right?
thing, yeah.
I don't know what I could do at Reno, but
Well, he could make the donuts.
he'd make the donuts, supply the food there,
And-
right? You could supply the entertainment,
Of course.
all over the different areas of the Death Star
Of the sphere.
and then I'd have the Colonel as like the mayor.
Really, he'd be the greeter, like the Walmart
Yes,
greeter.
yes, yeah.
Now, Colonel down there, can you say welcome to Vinny's Death Star?
Welcome to Vinny's Dutch.
See, that's appealing. Like I'd be like, come on in.
Unbelievable.
And then I'd be like, China, you're going down. Just saying, China, going down. Just saying.
Will they have one of those little places that you're going to put on every corner?
of course,
Accepting
they're going to have it on
space.
every level. Every single level up there. You kidding me?
I'm in.
This is VC's DS. What we're talking about over there.
VC's DS.
What we're right now is we're going to take a big time commercial break. When we come back, who knows what we're going to talk about? Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, it's Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. And you know what? Everybody's got a price for me. If you want to get your money's worth, then you need to stay right here, because you're watching After Hours with TC Restani.
Alrighty, welcome back to the After Hours of TC Restani, the podcast. We're now talking about our good friends overseas in London, the Geek Force. Everybody here, let's give a good round of applause for the Geek Force. Woo! Our number one supporters over in Great Britain over there. They are huge Star Trek fans, and they reminded me, because we didn't do a show in September because we were celebrating the Colonel's birthday down there, that September marked the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. And they wanted to get our take on Star Trek and all the things that we've met and the people we've met from Star Trek and whatnot. Now, everybody down here, what's your favorite memory of Star Trek? I'm going to start with you, Captain Kirk over there, Boomerang Chastain.
I never watched Star Trek.
So you have no idea what we're talking about then, huh?
No.
All right, I'm going to skip that. He's beamed out of here. Colonel Bull Montana, your favorite memory of Star Trek?
Well, my favorite memory is that they lost one of the great actors from Star Trek would be Leonard Nimoy.
So that's your favorite memory was when Spock, the
Died.
actor.
No, I mean there was a lot of great, but I loved mostly all Star Trek and all that.
Okay, all right. So you have no clue about Star Trek either, but you are upset that Leonard Nimoy died a couple years ago, right?
Right.
I know he's a Boston boy like yourself, and you were very close personal friends with him as well. Now, cousin Leo, I don't know if you have your experience with Star Trek out there, but what is your fondest memory of Star Trek, or when you first even heard about it?
Do you mean like meeting these people or movies or anything in
No,
general?
just Star Trek in general.
Oh, the Wrath of Khan was when that was like the first time I've seen. And I saw it on. Oh, I was very young. It was what 1984, 1982. Yeah, I was like maybe what 9, 10 years old. If no, it was probably what 7, 8 years old. And I remember like cable TV, and then I saw when who's the actor who played Khan?
Ricardo Montalban.
That guy. When I just remember him going through hell's heart. I stabbeth thee, and he ignited that whole Genesis system, and that was actually a pretty cool movie.
It is. It's a fantastic movie.
I love it.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time, not just because it's Star Trek. All right, South Boston Jeff down there. I know you're a big Star Trek fan down there.
Yeah, sure.
All right, give me your first inclination of how you came across Star Trek.
Oh, well, well, when it was on TV, I was about maybe 8, 9. Well, it was on TV when I was a kid and everything. I didn't watch it much. I got into them when around the time they did the movies and everything. So my favorite Star Trek moment of all out of the show and the movies is in Part 4, The Voyage Home, when Spock and Kirk were on the bus and everything, and some punk was playing his music too loud, and he gave Kirk the finger. So Spock had to intervene and give the guy the Vulcan neck pinch, and he took him right out. Ooh.
And he got a standing ovation from the people on the bus.
Woo! Now, my favorite real life moment.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We have to go around the panel and get everybody's first impressions of Star Trek before we
gotcha.
move on to that. Okay, my first contact with Star Trek, I was very young. I was about 7 years old, and I had cousins who were about 10 years older than me who were fascinated by the original classic series and made me watch the reruns. Now, I saw these a little bit after I saw Star Wars. Now, for me, Star Wars, of course, is a religion and whatnot. We talk about it all the time here on the program. And Star Trek was sophisticated sci-fi, but it didn't have that cowboy in space feel, you know, where it's good guys versus bad guys, and there's a lot of violence. Star Trek was a very intellectual show, and it had fantastic writing, and it, reflected about what the themes were going on. Of course, the Klingons were the Russians, and we were the Americans, and all that other nonsense out there. But I gave Star Trek a rest until The Wrath of Khan, when I saw that on cable television with you, Cousin Leo, as a matter of fact, many moons ago. And I was like, this is what Star Trek was missing. The cowboy in space atmosphere and feeling. And since then, I have been a diehard Star Trek fan. Unbelievable. Vinny Capelli over there. I know you are a diehard Star Wars fan, so this is kind of like, a little fish out of water for you. But what's your first memory of Star Trek, being that it's now 50 years old?
My first memory? I might have, how do I put this nicely? Tickled, fondled, I don't know.
Played with your tribble?
Played with my tribble.
Can you show us on this doll, please?
To one of the women on the show.
Exactly.
Other than that,
Well,
I'll be honest with you, I was never a big Star Trek fan. Like, I remember watching the movies, the one where Spock died, and then the one where he came back.
That would be Star Trek II, The
2 and
Wrath of
3,
Khan.
and then Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock.
The Search for Spock.
I'll be honest with you, like I had more enjoyment out of watching The Next Generation.
Of course.
And then actually the movies now gave me a better appreciation.
The reboots.
The reboots. 'Cause I actually like the way they did it, and it's what you said. There's more of the cowboy in space feel with the new movies than with the old movies.
Really?
So my feeling. I think the movies were well done. I like that they tried to kill Kirk versus Spock. It made more sense, in the new ones.
In the new ones.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Now they want to know, have anybody out there, have we ever met anybody from Star Trek? Now, I'm looking at you, South Boston Jeff down here, the greatest celebrity stalker of all time, who's been out there hunting celebrities and Star Trek celebrities for the better part of 20-plus years. Now, give us some of your stories of encountering
Okay, yeah,
Star
I
Trek
have met
people.
quite a few of the cast members and everything, and I was thinking of telling you the William Shatner one, but you brought up the Next Generation. I gotta say, I don't have very luck with those guys, any of them. The whole Next Generation hates SBJ. I think not having good luck with them. First of all, Captain Picard, he hates me, because I called him Mr. Ian McKellen and everything. Well,
I still don't understand how you messed that up.
Well, because he had his back turned, and he was in the play with Ian McKellen, and my eyes aren't too good and everything, but yeah, like I've met him before. I called him Captain Crunch. He probably he probably wasn't too happy about that too. I said, "What do you? So you've been Captain Picard, you've been Captain Ahead. What's next, Captain crunch? And he looked at me. He was like, and and the second time I actually heard him muttering to himself, that's not, you can't get so mad or so early in the day. To calm down. And he was talking to himself. So,
I got a question. Where is Patrick Stewart from? Is he really a British guy?
He's from England.
He is
England.
Okay, I thought
He's
he
a
was
funny
fake.
bastard, though.
He is.
I thought he was
I
faking it,
admire him
Donald.
for all his work and everything, but I can't say that he likes me. Now, let's talk about another one, Counselor Troy. What's her real name?
Her real name is Marina Sirtis, and as a teenager growing up, she was it from that final frontier out there. She's gorgeous.
Oh, yes. And she hates me as well. Well, she probably doesn't hate me, but she thinks I'm a frickin' perv, a dirty bird, because, I've seen, well, every time I see her, I'm like, how come you don't have any stills from Death Wish 3, because she was in Death Wish 3. She got raped by a bunch of thugs, including Alex Winter from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. But she's like, I never watched it. She scowls. I mean, I'm always asking about the rape pictures from Death Wish 3, but I like busting balls. But one certain time I was at the convention, I was just talking to my good friend. Sika, the ex-porn star from the 70s.
I thought you were talking about the wrestler.
No. Seika.
Seika,
All right,
whatever.
Seika. My good friend Seika, ex-porn star. So I was talking to her, and she always hooks me up with free porn. So I'm talking to Counselor Troy, and ragging on her, and one of the porns falls out of my pocket. She sees it. She's like, "Yeah, pick up your porn." And I'm like, whoops. So that's the second one. And I haven't had any luck with any of the Next Generation, but it's certainly fun being a foe of the Next Generation. I feel like kind of a villain.
You're like a villain out there. Now, I have a good Counselor Troy story out there.
Which one was Counselor Troy?
The really good-looking brunette on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Curly hair?
Yeah.
I never found her good looking. I didn't find her attractive.
Oh, you need help, man.
There's nothing good about her.
Oh, you need help,
No.
man. You need
Nothing.
You need to go see a counselor. All
I'd
right.
rather do the older woman that was on the show that Picard did.
You mean Dr. Beverly Crusher?
Yeah, I'd rather do her than the other one.
Well, all right. Well, can I continue my
I'm
Counselor
sorry.
Troy
Go ahead. I'm
story out there?
sorry. I'm
The
sorry.
Geek Force want to know these things out
sorry.
there. Okay. It was 1990, and a friend of mine whose name was Adam was a huge, I'm talking huge, Star Trek: The Next Generation fan. I was a fan as well, but not as big as he was, and he had a crush, more than I did, on Counselor Troy. And she was signing autographs at a convention in July of 1990. And we waited until the end of the line to get the autograph because he had his eye not only on her, but a rare piece of Counselor Troy memorabilia. She was sitting there. It was a hot day. She was signing autographs. She had a glass of water, like a wine glass filled with water. And she kept drinking it and whatnot. And he told me in line, he goes, I'm taking that home with me. I go, what? Counselor Troy? And he goes, no, the water. I go, you're going to take the glass of water? And he goes, yeah. He goes, watch my back. I go, what are you going to do? And he goes, just watch it. Go on, you up and get the autograph. Start a conversation with her. And I say, well, that's not going to be hard because I'm staring at her right now. And he goes, well, continue the conversation. I'm going to go around you and I'm going to take the water glass. And I'm like, no, you're not. You ain't going to do that. So I go up to her. I'm drooling. She's fantastic. Everybody knows me. I like, the exotic type. She's Greek. She's fantastic. So I'm up there making small talk, and she talks in a big, thick British accent, just like Jeff. We're talking about her over there. This is 20 years before Jeff's encounter with her when she was fucking perfect. And I'm sorry I dropped the F-bomb. I'm sorry, but it's true. And I'm trying to keep her eyes away from this kid who's like the repo man, is sneaking around.
Was the music playing?
Right around her. And I'm like, yeah, could you sign this to TC? And she's like, oh, what a weird name. Initials? Do I put the dot here and the dot here? And I'm like, do whatever you want. Just keep talking. And he grabbed the water and just like hid it under his jacket and walked away. And I got the autograph. And I said, okay, mission accomplished. And he's like, there's lipstick on it still. God's honest truth. He drove up. I had to hold a napkin on top of the wine glass that had the water in it for the hour-and-a-half ride back home, and he immediately put it in his freezer, and it was in that freezer for 5 years until the glass finally cracked. Okay, you talk about a strange encounter. at a Star
Strange
Trek
obsession.
convention.
That's like very obsessive. That's one of the
There's
most
something wrong
obsessive-
there.
And I asked him, I go, did you like drink from it or
Now,
all?
if you told me you did that with Leah Thompson, I'd believe it.
She's actually in my freezer right now. I didn't know
That could be too.
Okay, but that is my Counselor Troy story out there with Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Your buddy should have just found like a geneticist or something and cloned her. There was tons of DNA in
Who
there.
know? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe he's still working on it. I haven't seen him in a while.
Hey.
So if she's gonna come knocking on the door one day, looking like she did in 1990, I'll know what happened.
You know, the boys over there in England,
I'd buy
I
one
do
off
want to tell them something. Forget the Star Trek. They have the hottest princess walking the planet.
Who's that?
Princess Harry. What's her face there?
Princess Harry.
No, Prince Harry's, Prince Charles, whatever. The new princess there. The one that, what's her name?
Oh,
Pepper? Not Pepper.
she just had 2 kids.
Yeah,
right?
she had 2 kids. She's still a smoke show.
Oh, Middleton.
Middleton. Oh,
Kate Middleton.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, she's very good looking. But
oh.
all right, that was a little shout out to our good friends over in England over there. Get back to the Star Trek story. Everybody knows when we always do a death pool, who I always wish to die. Who is it? It's William Shatner.
Whoa, William Shatner.
William
Oh, yeah,
Shatner.
yeah.
Now, here is my William Shatner story, all right? It was the summer of 1992, and I was with South Boston Jeff, who was a little inebriated at the time.
I think that's when I met you.
And and I was with other famous local autograph collectors, and Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock, and William Shatner were doing a joint convention, and I didn't want to go pay the big money. Now, this is 1992. The big money was like $25. Now it's like $225 to meet these people when they were alive. Rest in peace, Leonard
You're
Nimoy.
kidding.
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, we had this conversation.
Yeah, on the last episode, it's ridiculous how much these celebrities charge. So we went to the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. Now, there are 2 exits on the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. But if you stand on the corner, you can see both exits and whatnot. The limousine pulled up, and I was in the lobby scouting it out, and down came Shatner with a baseball hat and sunglasses, thinking he's cool and important. Leonard Nimoy's dressed in like this John Travolta outfit, and he's in the lobby talking to people because he's from Boston. He goes, I went to school with you, and blah, 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 blah. Now, Shatner sees the limo and walks out to the limo, thinking Nimoy's still behind him, and all the autograph collectors start hovering around him going,
Oh, you told me the story.
Mr. Shatner, Mr. Shatner. He just completely ignores him, 100%. The limo door opens. Shatner gets in. He thinks Nimoy's right behind him, and he's looking around. There's no Leonard Nimoy. And everybody's going, Mr. Shatner, Mr. Shatner. And he's like, no. He's being a complete dick about it. This huge black dude walks over with his little kid who looked like Webster. And he goes, Shatner's head's looking out. He's not making any eye contact with anybody. He goes, you will sign this for my autograph for my son. Shatner looks up, pulls the glasses down, sees how big this dude is. It's like Andre the Giant size guy. And he just goes, nods, open the floodgates. Everybody puts their autographs in there, their 8x10s, their index cards and whatnot. Woo-hoo. That's how I got William Shatner. Nimoy comes out, runs in, gets in the limo, they take off. I'm like, all right, damn, I need to get Nimoy because, I've never gotten it before. So I waited around for a couple hours after the convention ends. The limousine pulls up in front of the other entrance of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, and I'm standing on the corner again. Shatner gets out on the sidewalk side. He's hounded by, now there's even more autograph hounds there. And Nimoy sees this as a diversion. He opens the door in the street, walks up to around the corner, and I'm the only one there. And I'm like, excuse me, Mr. Nimoy, can I show you an autograph? And he goes, walk with me, talk with me. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, you're from here? And I go, yeah, of course. I come to Boston all the time. Wonderful. I grew up here. My father was a barber, fascinating. And then in the back, way off in the distance, you hear someone go, there he is. And he goes, I've got to go. And he bat out of hell. And I hold up the autograph. I've got Leonard Nimoy. And everybody was so mad at me and whatnot. But that's my my Star Trek story down there. Unbelievable down there. Colonel, have you ever met anybody from Star Trek?
Speaking about the late Leonard Nimoy,
Oh, yeah? Go ahead. Give us your story.
I was at the old Commonwealth Pier.
Were you fishing?
No, the Commonwealth Pier. They had one of the shows there.
Okay.
And at that time, I had no pen or piece of paper. I just went up and I go, nice to meet you, Mr. Nimoy.
And that's the story.
Yes.
That's
Amazing.
That's bigger than the moon landing down there. Now, Reno, since you've never seen Star Trek, you've never met anybody from Star
I
Trek,
met
right?
Of course he has. We were with you.
I was with you, remember?
Oh, how did I totally forget about that? You're right. Good memory down there.
What do you
I was
mean?
with you and Jeff.
You that's right.
He's met Zachary Quinto, the new Mr.
Yeah.
Spock.
That
and
is
everything.
true. You did meet the new Mr. Spock. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Who got the pictures?
That's right. If you're looking at the screen right now, if you're watching this on YouTube, there is the picture. There is
Yeah.
Reno, Mr. Spock, the new Mr. Spock,
And
Jeff.
Jeff.
And it was a cold night that night. Remember
yeah,
that?
it was freezing
But he
that
was pretty
night.
nice. Yeah, he was a nice enough fella, Zachary Quinto.
Yeah, he
And-
was a nice guy. We asked him, we sign autograph.
That's right. Unbelievable. So I apologize, Reno. I was there that night that you met the
Yeah,
new
it was
Mr.
cold
Spock.
weather
It was cold there. Yeah, boldly go.
Oh, it's
Cousin,
in the winter.
it was in the winter time. Over there, yeah, Leo. Have you ever met anybody from Star Trek?
No, but I would have liked to have met Leonard Nimoy. I heard he was pretty cool, just as you described.
He
you
was a
know?
fantastic man
And of course, Counsel Troy. You know,
for different reasons.
and yeah, many. And I'd ask her what she'd want for Christmas all the time,
Yeah.
even in July, September.
I
You
want,
know,
and if
in the hot
she's
tub, in
if
the
she's listening to
shower.
this right now, knowing that her water and her spit were held hostage in someone's freezer for 5
years. That's
years.
amazing. You know, I have a very quick. I met who's the black guy that played with from Reading Rainbow?
Oh, LeVar
Sam-
Burton.
Yeah,
Sam
well,
Jackson.
So we're in New York, and I'm hanging out with a couple of buddies, and my buddy's going, "Oh, it's Eddie Murphy! It's Eddie Murphy! Look, it's Eddie Murphy!"
Eddie Murphy.
And I'm like, "I know Eddie Murphy." I'm like, "That's not Eddie Murphy." No, it's Eddie Murphy. We look over, and it was him, right?
LeVar Burton.
Yeah. They go running. I go, "You go run up to him. Go run up to him. Go ahead, go run up to him." So they go running up to LeVar Burton. They're like, "Eddie Murphy." He was so upset. He's like, "I'm not Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's an actor. I'm an actor. He's a comedian." You know, man, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? I didn't even go running up to the guy.
Now,
Well,
do
it
you
sounds like he got upset, just like
got upset.
Patrick Stewart did
Yeah.
and everything. I'm not
Yeah.
Ian McKellen. Ian McKellen's gay. I'm not.
Now, do you know how close you were to meeting Eddie Murphy? Could have been in Star Trek. Do you know the story?
No, I do not.
All right. Everybody saw Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
It came out in
Yep.
1984. That was produced by Paramount Pictures. He was under a picture deal. I think it was Eddie Murphy who actually brought this up to the studio. He had a film commitment left for Paramount, and he said, why don't, in the next Star Trek movie, I know you're doing a time travel one, why don't the cast hook up with Axel Foley? And for I don't know how long.
Which one was this?
This was the fourth one. Remember when they came back
Voyage Home, yeah.
in 1986? And they thought about it, but he was in production of Beverly Hills Cop 2, which came out in 87. But there was a strong possibility that could have happened, that Eddie Murphy could have crossed paths with the cast
That would be unbelievable.
of Star Trek.
That would have been all right. Probably would have made the movie better.
Oh, that movie was awesome. That was
Nah.
Star Trek 4 is what
Nah.
Star Trek 4 is what made everybody a
Garbage.
Star Trek fan again.
Garbage.
It brought people in who didn't even care about Star Trek because the story was so cool.
You know what I cared about in 1984 was when Return of the Jedi was coming on VHS.
And Van Halen.
Well,
And Van Halen.
How could you
That's
not
all
like
I
that?
cared about.
being that
and Hulk Hogan.
I am a VHS expert. Return of the Jedi did not come out on VHS until 1986.
I know. That's why in '84 I was still waiting for it. I was a little upset.
You didn't have a bootleg copy?
I was young then.
Well, what about your older brother? He didn't go in there with the 16 millimeter camera? And try
No,
to
he
bootleg
was on
copy?
a federally funded vacation for the time.
Wow.
That's great.
You know, that's why
He was in a work program. It was phenomenal.
He was in a work
Yeah,
program.
I didn't see him for like 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a fantastic story down there. So Star Trek, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm going to admit it. It's one of my favorite things of all time. But Star Trek does have a warm spot in T.C. Restani's sci-fi heart. So everybody over there in England for the Geek Force, I hope this unbelievable Star Trek trip down the line is just what you were looking for your podcast. And we support you 100%. Live long and prosper. And we'll be right back after this big-time commercial break.
Hi, my name is Allison Wade, Playboy's Miss May 2006, and you're watching After Hours with TC Restani. Enjoy.
welcome back from that big-time commercial break. It is Thanksgiving week here in the good old United States of America, and we're going to go around the panel right now. We're kind of at a Thanksgiving table here. We have pizza, we have donuts, we have other accoutrements down here, but the big Thanksgiving holiday is one of my favorite of the year. In fact, I'd have to say it's tied with the 4th of July as my favorite holiday of the year. Now, of course, Thanksgiving began right here in Massachusetts where we are taping this program. And it is my opinion, maybe you'll share it down here as well, that Thanksgiving should just be a Massachusetts holiday. Vinny Capelli, your take on that?
More of like a New England holiday, I'd say.
But it happened here. They landed at Plymouth Rock.
It did, but it did. They did. I mean, yeah, I could see it being yeah, you're right. I mean, it could be just a Massachusetts holiday. I mean, personally, it's my third favorite holiday.
What is your first?
Christmas is my first.
What is your second?
My second would be the day I got out of my state-funded vacation, which also happened to be on the 4th of July.
Oh, wow. You're like Tom Cruise there, born on the 4th of July. So, but you kind of would say that Thanksgiving could be just a Massachusetts holiday.
It could be, but in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I do like the fact that it is celebrated nationwide, and I get to watch some really good football. And this year I actually get to watch the Boston Bruins, one of my new favorite teams, because I am, people know I'm New York and Boston.
Right.
But when a push comes to shove, I love my Boston teams. The Bruins are playing this year. For the people that don't know, that's the hockey team here in Boston.
Mm-hmm. I think they're kind of well known out there.
Well,
Colonel down there, I know anything revolving around food is a good holiday down there. Do you think Massachusetts should be exclusive to Thanksgiving?
I should say Massachusetts. We should have it only in Massachusetts.
Why is that?
Because, first of all, don't forget, they landed at Plymouth Rock at 1642 or something, I believe.
1690. No,
1620.
1620.
1620. I'm proud that you got 1600. At least you just said like 1982 or something like that.
Massachusetts, we deserve a holiday,
Of our own.
Correct.
Well, Massachusetts does have Bunker Hill Day.
Okay, but that's only...
And we're the only state that celebrates Patriots Day.
So, okay. Reno, Reno, do you think Thanksgiving should just be... We're not over there. We're not talking about you over there. We're talking about Reno over there. Now, Reno, do you think that Thanksgiving should just be a Massachusetts holiday?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't know? You just go... All right, go back to sleep over there. Cousin...
No, I'm not sleeping.
Oh, well, yeah.
You sure
that's debatable.
I like Christmas, too.
Boomerang.
Okay, we're not talking about Christmas. We're talking about Thanksgiving.
We're talking about Tom Turkey,
Gobble, gobble.
I think when his ancestors landed, they didn't come by boat. They came by, the sky.
Yeah.
Star Trek. They beamed him down.
They beamed him down, and part of him still hasn't beamed down yet. All right, Cousin Leo down there. Thanksgiving. You think it should be a Massachusetts holiday, or do you think the whole country should get stuffed?
Well, you know what? Yeah, the whole country should get stuffed. But I think, the town of Plymouth should emphasize it. Why should, the parade, like the Thanksgiving Day parade, Macy's, be emphasized in New York? Why not Plymouth?
Absolutely.
It should be in downtown Plymouth.
Yeah, why not? Or through the whole damn town. Just go through it, And, like the Boston Marathon. It goes from Hopkinton to Boston.
Right.
Plymouth should have something like that.
Well, they do have a parade down there, but it's not as big as the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade.
I mean, this is where it all started.
Actually, I think the entire Macy's Thanksgiving parade wouldn't even actually fit in Plymouth.
Just think about the funds they would get instead of New York.
Unbelievable. Jeff, I know Thanksgiving is a big happening at the South Boston Palace down there, the Irish Riviera.
Yeah.
What do you think about Thanksgiving just being a Massachusetts holiday?
Well, no, that's kind of BS, What if I move to another state and everything? What if I move to another state like New York and everything, and I need the day off? What if I'm working at Coney Island on the Ferris wheel and everything, and I need and I need a day off to go see my family. And they say, no, it's a Massachusetts holiday, and you live here in New York, so it should be shared. And
You
everything.
make a valid point down there. Unbelievable down there. All right, I'm going to go around the horn. What's everybody's favorite dish at Thanksgiving? I'm going to start with you, Reno, down there.
Turkey,
Obviously turkey. Okay, what kind? White meat, dark meat?
white,
Okay, what do you put on it?
gravy,
Gravy, huh?
mashed potato, string beans,
Wow.
corn,
Wow, that's fantastic.
salad.
Salad,
I
too.
love salad.
Salad and Thanksgiving. It goes hand in hand there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, Colonel Bull Montana, how many Thanksgiving dinners do you go to? I know you're invited to mine, but how many other Thanksgiving dinners do you actually
Wait,
show
you
up
invite
at?
him and not us? I never got invited to your house. I've known you for over 20 years. You never invited me.
He's been to my house.
Wait a minute. You must have got your little assistant over there may have deleted the email over there.
Really?
I sent it out. Did I not send it out, Colonel?
Yes, you did.
Unbelievable. Don't give me that look over there. I sent
I'm a
out.
little upset right now. I'm going to have to double check. You know what? I'm calling and see if I get my emails traced. And if so, or my texts.
Well, ask Hillary Clinton. She may have deleted it.
That's probably what happened.
I heard your mother makes a mean bird, too.
She does make a mean bird. Fantastic. All right, Colonel Bull Montana down there. Your favorite part of the meal, or meals in your case?
My favorite part is the white meat of the turkey,
Yeah.
mashed potatoes,
Yeah.
corn
On a cob or in a bowl?
on the bowl,
On the bowl. Okay.
and salad.
And salad down there. Now you surprised me. I thought you were going to say the turkey giblets, or like the neck and all that other junk down there. You gnaw on that before the actual meal comes out as an appetizer and whatnot.
No.
You don't do that. How big is the bird at the Montana mansion?
I don't know. It depends on who's cooking. Either my mother or my lovely sisters. I don't know.
So they get to pick what size the turkey is.
Correct.
But what's the biggest turkey you've ever had? And don't say velvet.
Uh,
That was dessert.
In your world. Go ahead. The biggest bird you've ever had.
14-pounder.
That's an average size there, Colonel. I thought you would have like one that's like 28 or 30 pounds down
No.
there. And you like the drumsticks?
Yep.
No, you're down there. Well, your other nickname is Ringo, so you should. Unbelievable. Now, I know, Cousin Leo, you were in the joint, and you were a fantastic chef from what I was told. Vinny Capelli, you can confer?
It's not called the joint. It's called what do we call it?
Oh, the clink. What else?
No.
Sing Sing,
Those are words that other words. We called it the barracks,
The barracks, it's right.
or we
yeah.
called it where we slept.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it was our
Okay.
housing.
Your dwelling. Now, when you were in the dwelling, you were a cook, I heard, and Thanksgiving was a big time in the dwelling.
They called me Cousin Leo and Cousin Cookie.
Cooking cookie down
Cousin
there.
Cookie,
Now,
yep.
what's your favorite part of Thanksgiving meal?
Well, when all the guys rounded up there on the, in the cafeteria.
You're not playing Yucky Bird, are you?
No, not Yucky
Okay.
Bird. That
No,
was,
no Yucky
and not Yucky Cookie.
No Yucky Cookie.
None of that, no.
Okay.
But
It was building up to that kind of. Sounded like it.
when everybody started to chow down,
Yeah.
it was special.
It was special.
And then I make a pretty mean toilet wine, too.
What can you for the listening audience out there? What is toilet wine?
Toilet wine? Well, it's when you get some fruits. You steal fruit from the commissary in the prison and all that. You just kind of put it in a bag. You mix it up with some funky stuff, some funky liquids, and you kind of seal it in the trash bag.
Wow.
Right? And then you kind of just stuff it in the toilet and let it ferment for a while.
You learn something new here every day on the After Hours of TC Restani
You have to go
podcast.
to prison to become a criminal.
Okay.
See?
So that was your favorite part of the Thanksgiving meal, the toilet wine.
That's right. Everybody enjoyed it.
All right, South Boston Jeff.
I'm a little, yeah, we had something like that in South Boston. We called it cuckoo juice, but I'm going to get off that. I'm not drinking anything out of the toilet. But, yeah, my favorite part of Thanksgiving, my favorite dish, I appreciate the dark meat of the turkey with plenty of gravy. Now, my mom makes a killer, a carrot and turnip mixture. The carrots and turnips mashed together with a little bit of breadcrumbs and some whipped butter. You just got to taste it to believe it. Carrots and turnips, it's kind of like a casserole casserole, and it's hard on the top with the fried cauliflower, but it's got to be done right, you know. But
That's
my mother
delicious.
does it just fine and everything. But I have nothing bad to say about any gift and any dish. You're making my mouth water.
He's over there. I can hear the stomach
Nobody
rumbling
ever
over there.
talks about the wings though of the turkey.
There's nothing on the wings.
Well, when they overcook and brown a little too much, they get that crispy texture to it.
Yeah.
I love it. It tastes good, and then like all the salt that you rub around the bird kind of goes all over the wings.
Wow.
And breast meat, of course, is good too.
Of
But,
course.
of course, the finest.
The finest.
But the wing is the best. I love the wing.
Okay.
Yeah. And the dessert spread.
Of course. Vinny Capelli.
Now, first, I just want to say, for anybody who's a Hillary supporter here, that Jeff would have been the only person who wasn't a racist because he likes the dark meat. Okay? For number one. So, me personally, now my favorite is, what I do is I take a couple pieces of bread, nice fresh hot bread, I put it down on the plate, and I take the turkey, mashed potato, stuffing, gravy, and I make sandwiches, and I eat that. It is to die for. To die for. Then I'll take like carrots, sweet carrots. They take carrots with cinnamon.
Ooh, delicious.
Yeah, cinnamon, carrots. Oh, so good, so good. String beans. Oh, so good. And then I watch football, and then I
Fall asleep.
I fall asleep. I try to get a little, little action from the
Stuffing.
from my from
From your bird.
from my bird, my pain in the ass bird, and that doesn't usually work. So I watch more football and I go to bed.
Easy peasy.
But it's an enjoyable day.
All right. For me, this is going to sound a little weird over here, but everybody around here knows my Uncle Mark, and my Uncle Mark makes the best baked stuffed shrimp on the planet. And he puts that out as an appetizer, and my mouth is watering right now. We are now a week away from Thanksgiving, and all I'm thinking about is that baked stuffed shrimp. I mean, the turkey's great. I love the mashed potatoes, the squash, the string beans, all that other junk. But that once a year, or excuse me, he has it on Christmas as well, but that twice a year, the baked stuffed shrimp, unbelievable. Now, you got to remember, when the Pilgrims landed here, they landed at where? Plymouth Rock, which is right on the Atlantic Ocean. Not only did they have turkey at the first Thanksgiving, they had seafood as well at the first Thanksgiving. So when I say seafood at Thanksgiving, obviously they're not from this part of the country. They're from some hillbilly town in Kansas or something where they probably have roast beef at Thanksgiving out there. You got to have the seafood at the Thanksgiving. At least it happens in the Restani family.
I wouldn't mind the lobster buffet.
Oh yeah, I like the
I've
scallops.
had crabs
wrapped
at
in
Thanksgiving
turnip.
once.
I mean, scallops wrapped in bacon.
rough.
I've
That's
gotten
another
crabs at
thing.
Thanksgiving once.
Oh boy,
You have
how
to,
is that possible? All the coats are usually on the bed.
Good one.
Bada-bum.
Colonel's raising his hand down there. Yes.
TT,
Yeah.
TC, excuse me. I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, especially those in the armed forces that are overseas for us.
I thought he was going to say the pizza kitchen.
No, I understand.
bless you, man.
For all those, you are a real American down there,
That's it.
and I'm going to vote for you for president if Donald Trump doesn't run in 4 years because you're like the Hulk Hogan song. You fight for the rights of every man.
And I want to say happy Thanksgiving to all our viewers out there and everybody.
Even though it's a podcast
Yep.
and they listen to it. But I know who especially you want to send out there to is your long lost son. Now, for those of you
Bulldog.
the bulldog out there,
Oh, they said I think I say the nightmare.
No. This is weird. We talked about it on our last show, but for those of you who are just tuning in right now, there is an unbelievable podcast out there. My good friends out there who listen to us all the time out there, they have a guy on their show. And I'm trying to find a picture of it to show everybody down here.
Oh, you showed me. It is his son.
It is his son. All right. Everybody out there, listen to the Couch Party podcast out there. And the Bulldog, without question, is the long lost love child of Colonel Bull Montana. Now, for those of you around the panel here who have not seen the picture, I'm going to find this picture right now. And if this dude right here is not the Colonel's long lost son,
Oh,
look at that.
jeez.
Are you kidding me? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
for the people out there, the Bulldog at the couch party out there, this is Bull's long lost son. I need to have you and him go on Maury Povich, and I need Maury to go, Colonel, you are the father, because there is no way in hell. And they say there's
I can't miss this reunion. It'll
Look,
be
Hey, you know what,
Look at
TC?
that.
I think I'll help fund it. I think you should use your collective powers. I'll use my collective, bargaining agreements. And why don't we? Is there any way we can do like a joint show?
I gotta
Have
find
them
out.
come
A
down
joint
to the,
show?
Have them
Hey,
come
I
down.
like the sound
Have
of
them come
that.
down to the penthouse one day.
Now, I don't know where exactly in the country. I think they're in somewhere in New York. I don't know if it's a city or upstate New York or
Does he owe
whatnot.
child support?
You may owe child support. Now, the Bulldog over there looks like he's probably in his early 30s, Colonel Bull Montana. Now, if he turns out to be your son, will you pay back the child support that he missed during his growing up?
He can't afford to buy dinner. You think he's going to pay for that? You'd be borrowing money from you.
Well, I know that, or you, but Bull, I mean, this is Thanksgiving. We're giving thanks. We have now, through the magic of podcasting, may have reunited you with your long-lost son. What do you have to say about that?
Son, happy Thanksgiving.
So you are admitting that he could be your son.
Why do I
Yeah,
have?
you like he was nodding yes. You did. You can't hear a nod over the radio. Sorry to inform you.
Well, that is
having
true.
This old memory of this guy
Now-
named
now-
Michael or something.
Now, Colonel, he's on the podcast known as the Couch Party. 30-plus years ago, did you have a party on a couch? And the Bulldog was the little
I
offspring?
believe so.
You do believe so, huh? Because, all right, in 2017, it is my goal for this podcast to have you, Colonel Bull Montana, reunite with your long-lost son, the Couch Party Bulldog. What do you think?
Go for it.
You're going to go for it, huh?
Sounds wonderful.
Now,
No fear.
Now, what if he is, like, really upset at you that maybe if you do turn out to be his father, because the resemblance is uncanny. What if he's upset with you that you weren't there for him for Little League, for all the things, growing up, the birds and the bees. Now, how would
the
you
Christmas gifts?
how would you have described the birds and the bees to your son, the Bulldog?
Well, I go, son, I just had a feud. I had a feud, and I left.
What?
I had a feud with
With his mother.
your mother.
Whoever that is, right?
Yep, and I left her.
So that's your explanation of the birds and the bees. You know what the birds and the bees are, Bull?
Yes.
What are they?
No comment.
No comment out there. Okay.
Yeah, not at this time. Unfortunately, I did have to bring with me my youngest.
You did over there.
Yes.
Your little secretary over there. Okay, I understand that. So now, Colonel, now he's come back. He's come back into your life. What are you going to do to make up for lost time? What would you do as a dad to make up?
Papa.
Yeah,
Papa.
up to your son, the Bulldog. What would you do? Where would you take him? Would you bring him anywhere?
I would take my son. I would take my son on the field trips that I've been to and all that.
A field trip. Where
Would you take him to Canopy Lake?
yeah,
Plymouth Rock.
No, I mean, I'll take him all the port adventures that I've been to.
There's a lot of those.
Okay, but
Write a
where
book.
in particular? All right, he just lands right now, Logan Airport. He gets off a JetBlue flight. It's Thanksgiving weekend. You bring him over your house. You have some feeding time. You meet. You bond. You can go anywhere in the world. Where are you taking your son?
I'm taking my son to the Boston Garden.
The
Well,
Boston.
the new garden.
Okay,
the
out of
new
any
garden.
place in the world, you're taking him to an arena.
Yes.
Why?
Maybe my son wants to go to a concert or something. You never tell, right?
Bull,
never can tell,
there is
no.
something here. Bull did spend a lot of time at the old Boston Garden.
I know.
And there was a lot of women that Bull, mingled with. He made me bring in his son to say, "Hey, this is where I created you, right here.
Now that would be
The
fantastic.
seats were numbered, too.
This is the seat right here. Right here is where I had your mother over the thing, little this and that."
You know, we are the world, Colonel.
We are the children.
He could be your children. This is just fascinating. It gives me a warm feeling inside that this podcast that you wanted to do down there earlier this year has found your long lost son. It's amazing. Reno, what's your take on this?
He's sleeping.
What, for his own son?
He could have found his long lost son.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
You're speechless.
Reno,
down
would you
there.
support him?
No.
You don't support him?
Yeah, I would.
Oh, I'm going to say, you wouldn't support your buddy?
Yeah.
Reno, I think you voted yes on question 4, didn't you? Just nod your head yes. You did.
Okay, all right, yeah. Reno has gone bye-bye. And before we wrap the show up, I want everybody out there, one of our interns down here, it wasn't Larry, the guy who screwed up the pizza a couple
Oh,
weeks
yeah,
ago.
that guy's terrible. Did you fire him?
I told you, I don't hire the interns down here other than the female ones. Bull down there is in charge.
Did you fire him?
With the interns. Now, did you get rid of Larry because he screwed up the pizza a couple weeks ago? Remember that?
No, I didn't. No.
He owes me $20.
No, I didn't.
Larry
Larry's supposed to be here, but Larry never showed tonight.
Couldn't speak a lick of English either.
No, he couldn't.
Uh-oh, maybe you threw him behind that wall down there. Okay, what I'm talking about is
Possible.
one of our interns down here.
She cute?
She is very cute.
Oh, where is she?
I will introduce you to on the next podcast down there. And she asked me, what is your favorite Thanksgiving movie of all time? And I probably said, I think it's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's a
good one.
That's a good one. Everybody down here is loving it. And she goes, have you seen Thanksgiving? And I went, what? And she showed me the trailer on YouTube. Now, for those of you who have access to the World Wide Web, which is everybody around here at this table except Reno, go online, go on to YouTube, and type in Thanksgiving trailer. The premise of this movie, from what I've seen from the trailer, and I can't wait to find it, and Jeff, you're going to love this, is an insane turkey murders people.
What?
And the turkey is like, it looks like a really bad puppet from the Dark Crystal or the Never-Ending Story.
It's terrible.
All right? Now, your little assistant is here right now. You need to block her ears.
Go ahead. I apologize if she. Go ahead.
Okay. The best line of this movie in the trailer, I mean, this is a really bad B-movie thing. The turkey's head pops out of this guy's chest, kind of like the scene in Aliens, and he looks up and he goes, "Gobble, gobble, motherfucker." Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen. Go on YouTube and look at that. Colonel,
Hey.
what did you say?
TC, you sure that ain't Mr. Quincy popping his head out?
No. I would not want to see that. Unbelievable. I want to wish everybody out there who listening to this, whether you're in the United States or not, happy Thanksgiving out there. Don't choke to death on any turkey or any wishbones or anything like that out there. And this is the After Hours with TC Restani podcast. I am TC Restani for
South Boston Jeff, hey.
Cousin Leo.
I'm Bo Montana.
I'm Reno.
Say it. Tell him.
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
And remember, just like Colonel Bull Montana's ex-wife who had the son with, her legs what? They
They
never
never
close.
close.
Oh, boy.